Welcome back to the Sound for More channel and welcome back to another tutorial. Today we have Skulptur from Bram Bos and Hainbach, which is a fantastic bank filter. Before I continue, I would like to remind my viewers to subscribe as it helps with growing the channel. Thank you very much. Additionally, if you would like to support what I do, please make sure to check the instruction contained in each video description. Okay, so we are inside the AUM. As you can see, I just have a file player here on an audio channel, just playing a normal loop, which sounds like so. Something's very simple. And here, as an insert effect, we have Skulptur. Okay. Okay, so it's a filter bank, which is great. It's a number of filters which have all a fixed frequency, and you can, of course, adjust what you send through each of the different frequencies. They're all running in parallel. And of course, the way it works is on the lower side, it will use low pass filter, and on the right hand side, it will use, or the high hand side will use high pass filter, and then in the middle, it will use band filters. As you can see here on the left hand side, we have the input, which you can adjust at a level, and you have an indication for saturation as well. On the right hand side, you have your output here with a indicator here in case you need to know what is happening with the level of output. And also you can bypass the filter itself. You can do a quick save, and of course you have access to a number of presets, your user preset and your factory preset. And let's start with some of the preset to get an idea what you can do with the filter. Of course, it's always nice to have an init preset, so that comes by default, so you don't need to create one. In terms of DSP usage, you can see here, or CPU usage, it's really good. It's really low, so which is fantastic in terms of accessing a new parameter. Really, really good. Lot of different parameters, so it's really, really great. But I would say the power of this effect is it uses very much what the iPad is good for. So for example, here on this view, you have three views: the faders, the elastic, and the cycles. On the faders, you can see there's an option of frictions. You can establish how much friction each band will use or will respond to, which is really good. So you can use your, of course, touch or mouse and then move up and down. You can see, based on the friction level, it will bounce. It's like having bouncing balls, but in this case, it's bouncing the level of the effect. And just to give you an example, if you put the friction at maximum, you see it doesn't bounce anymore. It doesn't have any elastic friction, right? And opposite side, of course, you get the opposite, right? Which is also useful in terms of allowing to go through, of course, audio level for that particular frequency, because you get effects like this one. And I think that is why you want a tablet, right? And you want the tablet to actually play up and down with your finger. Touch controls works really well. Works better actually than having a mouse. Of course, you can select random, and you have random value. You can give a bump, which is great. And so you can see they start all to move. It's like knock the faders, which is really good. Of course, as they stop, how long it will take to stop depends on the friction you have selected. You can set them to a minimal level like so, or a maximum level like so, right? So really good. What I also really like, if you click up here and hold, you can adjust the maximum level that can go to, which is good. So if you set random here, it will now go above that level there as well. And you can play also the bottom part as well of that fader or bar. Here you can add some noise, which comes really useful, and you can also set the feedback level as well. And then you can change the characteristics of the different bands from analog, resonance, 1949, some more vowel based, which is more restricted as a character. Let me give you a sense of it. I like the analog, but for example, the vowel can be used, for example, on radio type of simulation in terms of effect, which really, really good. So that is your faders view. Then you have also an elastic view. It's really great. You have these dot here again. You can set the base level, okay, which is like your minimal level, right? Then you can set the rise and fall. Let me show you in terms of rise. Set it to minimal, move it up. So you can see how it rises. Move this to maximum, move it up. It hardly moves. Okay. So you can set that to a different level. And the same on the fall. Fall and maximum. You can see it's taking a really long time to fall. As fall the other way, it comes down really, really quickly. And it's good because you can see it moves. It's like an elastic band. You can move, therefore, the values of the different bands at those fixed frequency. And of course, you get the different effects as you manipulate and the position of each dot, which represents the band. And of course, you can click on draw here, and then you can draw. And nothing happens, of course, until you let go and you click on the draw again, and then they come down, of course, depending on the settings that you have available. So, like this. So we draw, click draw. There you are. So you can get different effects, right? The next, you have these cycle views, and it's called cycles for a reason. It goes always on a cycle. Again, you can set a base level here, right? And you can set high and low. Of course, if it is a maximum, you get the effect. Nothing is moving, right? But you will set low. And then what you can set is the pace, particularly the speed. That is, different dots are moving, which correspond again to the different bands. And then, of course, you can set the slope as well, like so, and you can get it very chaotic. And you can also set the sync on and off against the host, which in this case is AUM. Something else as well you can do, you can click and deactivate certain bands and then click on them again to reactivate them. Of course, when you deactivate them all, you don't have anything going through. As you can see, as you move from these different views, okay, between the faders, the elastic, and the cycles, they are all independent from each other, which is great. Of course, you can obtain that wind effect using the noise setting here on the left-hand side. And there it is. So really a great effect, as you would expect from Bram Bos and Hainbach. And I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. And as always, see you next time. Bye.